Hello, hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Worthiness Codes podcast. I'm your host, Jaclyn Francis, and as always, it is so beautiful to be in this space with you today. So, we are deepening into passage 4, which we opened last week, to awaken the Worthiness Code of higher self. Last week, we got into it and discussed the pedestal, which is the shadow of ignorance, and the pathway, which is your transformational energy of self-awareness. If you didn't listen to that episode, I highly, highly suggest doing so. And as you know, journal prompts and guided meditations are available for download and purchase at theworthinesscodes.com. I priced these so reasonably for you guys because I just know how important it is during this journey to have tools and be supported. So know that it's super affordable, and I am here to answer questions, to support you additionally. So don't hesitate to reach out. And if you feel called to going deeper, the journal prompts are really helpful, and so are the guided meditations. So if you feel called, they're there for you. So today, let's dive into the Worthiness Code of higher self, and starting off with, what is your higher self? What does that mean? I want you to think of your higher self as the highest expression of you, the highest version of you. A really beautiful way to think about your higher self, and there's two ways I like to think about this, is you can think of your higher self as this version of you that sits outside of you at a higher dimension. And even though everything is from within you, it just depends on how your brain receives information and likes to look at things. If you're more visual, that's a really good way to envision it. If you're more feelings based, which I am, I feel everything. I like to look at my higher self as the same thing, the highest version of me, holding all of those highest aspects, unattached to wounding, unattached to ego, unattached to anything but my soul, my truest expression of self that lives within me, that sits at the core of who I am. And I can just feel her within her worthiness and her power. And she doesn't necessarily look a certain way, but it's just a frequency. It's just an energy. So those are two ways that you can begin to awaken and tap into your higher self, because you all have one. She is there. The point is for your higher self to be a guide for you, to guide you through life from a higher perspective, because your higher self, similar to the universe, can see much deeper within yourself and much further and wider out from an eagle eye perspective. She has an eye on how everything is playing out within you, outside of you, how the puzzle pieces are coming together to serve you for your highest good. So she knows from that perspective how to navigate your life. So when you can connect with her and ultimately embody her, you too begin to take on that perspective and move life in the same way. So it's the highest frequency, right? Last week, we moved into shifting into self-awareness, cultivating a stronger sense of self-awareness so you no longer choose your ignorance. And when you cultivate a stronger sense of self-awareness, you're naturally awakening more and more the connection to your higher self. Because again, your higher self sees things in a completely different way. So when you see through through the lens of self-awareness, you automatically have that shift within you. And that's where you begin to embody the frequency of your higher self. So again, she is your guide. That's what she's meant to do. The meditation that's up on the worthinesscodes.com leads you through a really beautiful way to begin to embody her. But another really simple practice you can do to begin using your higher self as your guide is to sit and reflect. So last week, I had you think of a situation that happened in your life recently or in the past or even currently where you were triggered or where you're moving through something really difficult and maybe someone acted in a way that hurt you. To revisit that situation. And last week we talked about going there and seeing the ignorance that came up within you and how you can reflect to see what the actual truth, those deeper layers of the situation are, because it's never what it seems like on the surface. So through this practice, to revisit that, but to let your higher self be your guide. How would she advise you to handle the situation differently? What are the things that she would want you to see from that situation? What are the deeper lessons or the patterns that you hold or the beliefs that you hold? Where are you pointing the finger? And even going deeper there. If you're pointing the finger, look at the other person, look within the other person. What are you seeing within that other person? Because when you really gain a strong sense of self-awareness, it's not just about you. It's holding deeper compassion for others because you are able to look within and understand all of the inner workings within yourself. You can then see that the other person's functioning from the same place. They're functioning from their wounding. They're literally an 8-year-old child dressed up as a 40-year-old. So you can understand and hold compassion and forgiveness and grace and not give away your power. So revisit that situation through the lens of your higher self. It's a really, really beautiful practice. And when you can embody that, when you can embody those higher aspects and the highest, fullest expression of you, my loves, you take your power back always. You never give it away. And you stand in your self-mastery, you stand in your worth, you begin to awaken more and more. And it's really a beautiful energy because you can just be unbothered and you can feel free. And who doesn't want that? So we will next week move into passage number, oh my God, what are we on? 5? And this is awakening the worthiness code of your inner knowing. And just like your higher self, your inner knowing is the highest expression of your intuition. And when you just know and you don't question yourself and you just know, it's a code that everyone should awaken because it's already within you, just like everything else. But this is so powerful. It's so powerful. So I hope to see you there. Again, I'm always here to support, and I'm sending you so much love. I love you. I love you. I love you. Until next time. Bye.